Together with my friend and one-time mentor, Dave Posen, I co-founded SoldierFit, a fitness company committed to the ideals of community, patriotism, and the pursuit of the American dream. I am also the president and co-founder of Platoon 22, a nonprofit started to combat the depression and dislocation that leads to 22 veterans a day who take their own lives. We are helping brave servicemen and women who have charged into combat on behalf of our nation, only to return scarred physically, mentally, or both, just as I once was. So as you can see, I've held many positions throughout my life, and the threat of unlimited, unpredictable joint employer liability is very scary. It threatens everything my partners and colleagues have worked for in order to build our community. While today I appear before you as a small business leader, my road here was long and challenging. Mr. Chairman, I was adopted at age 2. I graduated from high school 146 out of 147. I left for boot camp after graduation, and on September 11, 2001, I took the first team for the Army into the Pentagon to aid in search and rescue for survivors and remains. In the days that followed, I took jobs here and there, but I soon ended up homeless. I once again turned to the military and was deployed to Iraq, where I completed over 700 convoy missions. I've been blown up and shot at just about any place you can get blown up and shot at. When I returned home, I hit rock bottom. I drank, I self-medicated, and ultimately decided that my life was not worth living and attempted suicide. Somehow I got a second chance. Today I lead a company that has been the recipient of several small business awards from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in the state of Maryland, as well as I was featured on the cover of Men's Health magazine. I've gone from the kid who barely graduated high school to giving the commencement address at one. But Mr. Chairman, the National Labor Relations Board threatens everything that I and millions of small business owners have built. When the NLRB decided to change the joint employer liability standard in August of 2015, it was a scary moment for local business owners like myself. For decades, the joint employer standard had protected businesses like mine from the liability of employees over which we have no actual or direct control. That has always made sense. But now in adopting this new, ambiguous, indirect, and even reserved control standard, the NLRB has made employers potentially liable for employees they do not employ. That is nonsense. Mr. Chairman, from the perspective of small business, it appears that Washington regulators are attempting to facilitate a corporate takeover of Main Street. If regulators make large primary companies liable for the employment actions of third-party vendors, suppliers, franchisors, or subcontractors over which they have no direct control, large companies may be compelled to exercise more control over these small businesses to limit their new liability. Consequently, local business owners may effectively be demoted from entrepreneur to middle manager, as they are gradually forced to forfeit operational control of their stores, clubs, inns, or restaurants that they built. Thus, the joint employer means big companies will get bigger, and small business may run out of business partners and ultimately fade away. On another note, Mr. Chairman, many local business owners are nervous about the implications of joint employer on their future access to capital. The members of this subcommittee well know that the Small Business Administration Loan Guarantee Program is critical for creation and growth of small business, as it was for SoldierFit. But as SBA considers to change its loan approval process, it is important for the agency to keep in mind, however, anti-small business federal agencies are changing the definition of joint employer and how they may reduce that access to capital. I urge the subcommittee members to protect small businesses' access to SBA loan guarantees. The bottom line on the joint employer as a threat to small business, Mr. Chairman, is this. No one can assure me that my business, or anyone else's business, may not run afoul of a vague joint employer liability standard based on indirect or even unexercised reserve control. That's why I and so many small business owners around the country need help. We are asking Congress to pass a simple, one-sentence legislation contained in H.R. 3459, the Protecting Local Business Opportunity Act. Mr. Chairman, this country allowed me to achieve the American dream, and I found a small business committed to enabling others to achieving their American dream. Please protect small businesses like mine and give us certainty that federal agencies in Washington are not going to needlessly threaten our business. Mr. Chairman, thank you for your leadership on this issue, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have. God bless.